Oh no, what are we gonna do? TikTok has gone down. I can't put up my 60-second shorts anymore. The world is going to end. Oh my. How am I ever gonna survive?
It's simple. Get back to basics. Begin living your life, people. Because you know what? Life goes on. And then there were none. My word, the world has come to an end. All of a sudden, ByteDance has suddenly turned down their servers. We can no longer put up our 30-second, 60-second amazing shorts. Oh my God, what are we going to do? It's called Live Life, people. It's called Let's Be Real. The world was not built around ByteDance. The world was not made for Donald Trump, although Donald Trump, if you're asked to do something, oh, that's right, you don't start work until day after tomorrow. Sorry. Well, until then, what's the rest of the country going to do? Get on with life. Ain't that right, my friend? What do you think? Are we actually going to survive, or is this just the end of the end?
We're gonna survive, but John, driving with John's in the chat there, and he's hearing the same thing I am. You got your echo came back.
Oh, well, let's turn it up and make it real. You are on the front lines. I mean, come on.
Yeah, never
We'll have to
fails.
deal with it. I can't do nothing about it. It is what it is. I mean, hopefully it's not something that drives you into drinking and driving and all that crap.
Well, it kind
Hopefully
of
we
sounds
don't
like
do
you're
that.
it sounds like in church or something.
Church. Don't get me
Yeah,
started
it's
on
got that
that.
that
We're
that
talking
that that
TikTok. I'm not
echoey.
talking that. Yeah. Well, I've got the recording studio. Let me try one more setting. Let me see. Does that sound any better? Less echoey?
Oh, 100% better.
Okay. Well, y'all don't like recording studio? Hell with you then. Let's see. Well, there's at least 3 of you that see something. It's got a very mental, huh? Okay, John, I want to know what you're sniffing because if there's Barry
We
anything,
need some.
I want some, dude. TikTokers need that. So whatever you got, start sharing, brother. That's all I'm saying. He says yes, it's better. Okay, good.
This is I
Okay. Why
use
am I the
TikTok.
only one on here? I've got 6 panelists, and at least 5 of them know I'm going live. Why is it you and I are the only 2 here? Are we the only 2 that care about
'Cause
TikTok or what?
we're the only 2 that have balls.
We're the only 2 awake. Because I'm thinking everybody else is probably, sleeping.
No, they ain't sleeping. They're crying.
It's very good. Are you
No,
trying to start
it's
something, John? You know my wife is
of
watching,
course.
so yeah, you're trying to
I
start something.
I
It's
always start
very good.
something. What are you talking about?
Uh, it's
I
very
always
good.
start something.
Yeah. First it's caramel popcorn, now it's berries.
Not
Anyway,
caramel popcorn. It was the bacon grease with cinnamon sugar.
dude, you're gonna get me so hungry. I'm gonna sign off and go make bacon grease popcorn. Don't do that. People want to see this stuff. StreamYard hates me. I know.
But
StreamYard hates me too. It could be worse,
back.
John. You could be trying to log into TikTok. Oops, we tried that and it booted us off. Guess what, people?
We had a whole.
There's YouTube. YouTube will never die. There you go. That's a picture right there. If y'all can't do y'all can't do TikTok, come over to Truckin City, join the party. That's all I'm saying. I don't want to see yeah, you're just sitting there like choking Bo, and you're like, I don't know what to make of what he just said.
No, I'm not choking him. He's sitting here. He's just
Yeah, yeah.
sleeping.
I'm picking on you. I'm picking on
No,
you. It
like
also,
TikTok,
yeah,
TikTok. I use
good
TikTok.
point.
I made I made some really good friends on TikTok. I wish I
Yep,
their
I do.
numbers
I've
and
got
stuff,
over
but
1,100 followers on TikTok. So yeah, but John makes a good
I
point.
was hitting the
Everybody's panicking over TikTok. It's not just TikTok though. ByteDance is
it
also part of CapCut, part of Clapper, part of what was the other ones we
le
mentioned?
lemonade.
Lemonade. Yeah. So there's a number of
Um,
services right now they're dead. You can't use them.
yeah.
Um, so yeah, if you're a
But
shorts
like
designer, somebody that uses CapCut, you're done.
what was the first thing I said tonight when we all started talking about this? What are we, communists now? I thought this
Oh
was
yeah,
America. We're
shouldn't
supposed
it
to
be
be
a vertical?
free.
Well, I'm technically vertical. I'm just on the left hand side of the screen, so I can't say anything about that. But he makes a good point. We should be vertical. I don't have a phone for that, John. Get it right. I have a coffee cup and I have a camera. I'm sorry I can't do verticals. Sorry. Yeah.
I got Coca-Cola.
There you go. Go. Cheers. But I mean, hey, look, Clapper. I mean, who actually thought this stuff through? Think about it. Clapper, Lemonade, TikTok, CapCut, all of the major things that most creators use, and it's all run through one company. Who was the genius that thought that idea through? I mean, good
Biden.
Lord. I mean, Trump can fix a lot, but I don't think he can fix everything. Well, I don't know. Can he?
He was just lip
I don't know. What
and
do you think?
okay, so what here's the real question. Why did this company get banned? Because you
I'd like
just
to know.
before you answer that question,
Mm,
if somebody in the comments, why did this ban? That's what I'm curious about. I never heard anything about it until earlier this week.
Yeah, yeah,
Like I didn't know it, but this has been going on since 2004, April 2004.
right. Tell me if I'm wrong.
But
If you're
okay,
watching right now, comment. Tell me if I'm wrong. Should a American company have the discretion to make its own decisions to do what it wants? ByteDance is owned mainly by an American entity. There's a 20% share in ownership to ByteDance, and it is from someone who has connections to the Chinese government. 20% last time I checked is not enough to influence market share, decision making, or direction of travel. So why in the hell even the companies being banned to begin with makes no sense. So if you know something in the comments, put it down. I want to hear it. But 20% last time I checked, and last time I looked at the Twitter feed anyway, is really all anybody's complaining about. Really, they can't do anything with 20%. No one can do anything until they've owned 51% or more. So I'm still puzzled. I don't know what the big deal is, you know. And if somebody knows in the comments watching, I've got 7 people watching. Let me know. I want to hear it
so
because I think it's overkill. I really do. Um,
so
actually,
okay,
companies
if you're
owned
gonna
out of Taiwan and the CEO is out. Okay, fine, but it's still only 20%. You
okay,
know,
if you're gonna ban something that's out of the United States, start with TikTok. Okay, what's next? Stuff we use, our cell phones, our TVs, everything is all made out of the United States. So that's
right?
what I don't understand is, and you just put out 170 million people
Hmm.
who make money out
Yeah,
170 million people. That some of them that's
right,
how they make a living.
right.
And
Well, before I put
you
John's next comment up, let me clarify something, okay? Because he says the company's owned out of Taiwan, the CEO's out of Taiwan. Okay, but here's the thing. You just brought up a point a minute ago, and I've talked with people, uh, both of you, him, John and you, before, and a good point was made. And the point is, think about how many companies that have minor shares worth of Chinese ownership. that exist in this country.
Mm.
Are we going to all of a sudden go ahead and say, nope, y'all got to go. You got to go. You can't. You got to shut down right now. Think about how many retail stores, grocery stores, gas stations, utility companies, you name it, would all just stop. We're going to go back to Amish country, because
Yeah.
the Chinese have their hooks in so much in the U.S. If you're going to shut down TikTok over 20%, what stopped you from shutting down Kmart or whatever company? And I'm hypothesizing.
Kmart's
Whatever,
already shut down.
you get my point. Any company that's owned in a minor part, by the Chinese, you could
Target,
virtually lose
Best
half the country.
Buy,
You know,
Walmart. I mean,
yeah, yeah. I mean, it is
Kmart's been
frankly.
shut down for over
I
10
know, I
years.
know. I knew that when I said it, but I'm just saying, hypothetically speaking. He says, no, the 80% is owned by a company out of Taiwan, 20% owned by a person that has connections to the Chinese government. So then where does the US ownership come from? I mean, it doesn't compute. If only 20% is owned by the Chinese, why make a stink over it? They don't have that much influence. So that's my problem. Whether it's owned by Taiwanese or American is irrelevant. But
How
20%
many
over the
people
Chinese.
how many people own stock in TikTok?
How many people own stock in everything in the US?
Well, I'm just saying,
Yeah,
we're on the subject of TikTok. Okay, well now you just banned it in the United States. You just depleted that stock in the United States.
right. Yeah, I mean, right now I don't even want to look at the stock market. I mean, good Lord, it's probably taking a strict nosedive for. I mean, if you want to pull it up, by all means. I mean, I don't care because I don't do stocks. I'm sure there are people out there that do, but um, one thing's for sure, YouTube stock's going up. We know that because I'm sure this
Right.
platform is filled with people that can't do TikTok. Yeah. John says everybody, when they started, was talking about how China was spying on us, but there's nobody in the United States that doesn't know that every app you have, every social media you have, all spy on us. Exactly. Thank you. Good point, John.
What's the
Every
who
single
owns
thing you do,
TikTok again?
Facebook, Meta, Google, everything on your phone spies on you. It doesn't matter if you're US based, China based, Russia based, European based, it doesn't matter. Every place that has a technological connection to you can spy on you, and what are we going to do? We're going to shut the world down because everybody can see each other? You know, I can see you, Johnny. No, you can't. Click. Shut the phone off. That's really what it comes down to. If you want to make content, make it. If you don't, then don't. If you want to watch stuff, you watch it. If you don't, put the damn thing down. I really don't get what people think the big deal is. You know, I mean, virtually a group of friends of mine, we were on TikTok having a live and just midstream got cut off. And we got the same announcement millions of people across the United States got. We are unable to fill this at this time. Trump will be taking office in a few days. Why wait on Trump? I mean, Trump is our answer. Yeah, he's taking over, but why wait for him to be the magic solution?
This
Why?
this is the this is the government telling us what we can and cannot do. America is not free anymore.
Yeah, you said it earlier. I mean, we're not a communist country, but yet we're being treated as if we're communist citizens. I mean, I don't think so, but I think the way they're acting, you know, this is what the Chinese government would do to their citizens. If they didn't like something the US produces, what do? Cut us off. They won't virtually half they won't let virtually half of what we produce be seen in China. So it comes on to say, let's not forget about the past. Trump was anti TikTok last time he was in office. I don't know exactly what changed, but now he is for TikTok. But he's talking about taking it
Because
down when he's president.
TikTok because TikTok didn't
TikTok
ban
and
him.
well, no, the problem is TikTok and um, what's Elon call it now? X.
X.
They're kind of sister companies now. You know, if you set the precedent with one social media platform, and this is my thing, if you set the precedent with one social media platform, that precedent can be used for all the others. Because if you take TikTok down for one technicality, what stops our government from taking down everything else? What stops them from taking down Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, X, Real Truth, everything else that's platform based? If you
Well,
start with one, what protects the rest of them? I want someone to answer that in the comments. Where does this
I
stop?
stand
Huh?
I
What'd you say, hon?
stand corrected.
I know.
TikTok, which is owned by ByteDance, is not in the stock market. So
Oh wow.
erase that comment I said earlier. Yes,
Oh okay.
it
Okay.
yep. It's not even in the stock market.
Wow.
I had to
Yep.
Google it.
And John asked further, what stops them from forcing semi truck drivers to buy electric trucks? Oh, wait a minute. That's already happening. um, are we a trucking channel? Just
He's
curious. I
he's
mean, I
trying
didn't know we were talking
he's
about
trying to
trucking.
fight.
Huh?
He's
What?
just trying to start a fight.
No, he's trying to inspire conversation. We only have 6 people watching.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, all 6 of you watching, go out and find 6 of your friends. Tell them we're talking about the finer points of TikTok, and let's see if we can multiply it to 12. If you can have 6 babies for me, I'll I'll think of something. I don't know, but
He'll put a rubber chicken head on.
I don't have a rubber chicken head. Think again. I'll get
Next
Larry
week
on here
live
to
you
do
will
it.
do it.
I'll get Larry to do it. How's that?
Yeah. You get
There you
Larry to beat his chickens.
go. There you go. There you go. I just don't see why everybody's making a big stink on this whole TikTok thing. Because honestly, you and I talked earlier, and really, this whole situation is going to resolve itself in less than 48 hours. Because we got Sunday to get through, and then Monday. Once he's inaugurated, he's sworn office. He'll go right in there, make a phone call, turn it back on. Boom,
Well,
everything will be fine.
what I'm so baffled about is Biden just released, was it this morning or yesterday afternoon, that him and his administration is not going to enforce the ban. Well, look what just happened tonight.
Yeah, he's not out of office, and yet the band's in full swing. No one can
Yeah,
use it. Yeah, so
gonna enforce
cap
it.
cuts
He
down,
said TikTok
clappers
can
down.
stay.
Yeah. Oh wait
He
a minute. What
said
did he say?
TikTok and
My math is wrong. If 6 people find 6 friends, really, John, are you going to go there? I went
one
to New
person
Birch Free
tells
Academy.
another
That's a
person that
northeastern
tells another
school, and
person.
albeit they did bad math, but my math says 6 + 6 = 12. What school did you go to?
They can actually do that. Rule. They're
It's a law
actually
passed
going
through
against
by
our
Congress, so
constitution.
the president can't come in and just say the law doesn't count. Well, no, because
Yes,
he's partly
he
right, but
actually can.
a
It's
president
going against
cannot
our
make law.
constitutional rights.
Constitutional. You're tired. No, a president
That's
can't
what he
just
said,
make law.
constitutional.
John, help me out here. The man said something different. Anyway, no, back to my point. A president can't just make law. He can write an executive order. And the executive order is quite honestly nothing more than a suggestion. It can be overturned because in order for something to become law, it has to be approved by a majority of all 3 branches of government. That's the only way it can become a law. Okay. So Biden kind of superseded his authority by banning TikTok. He alone cannot do it. everyone universally in all three branches has to, by either majority or supermajority, agree to that. And that hasn't been done
It
as of
was
yet.
it no, it was. It had passed 300 and something to 56 to ban it.
In the House. But what about
I
the
don't know.
Senate?
I would have to go back and look it. I'd have to
Mhm.
go back and look. Hold on. I got my iPad here. Let me do
Oh,
some
yeah, yeah,
research.
yeah. Be our resource, dude, man. Yep. Have 6 friends, find 6 more friends. That's 6 times. I said 6+. Dude, your plus, turn it sideways. Okay? Then it's times. This is times. This is plus. Get it right. This is a 0. This is a goose egg. Loser. Actually, you're wrong. What is he saying now? He's talking smack to me. Actually, you're wrong again. It wasn't banned by Biden. It was banned by Congress, and Biden signed it into law. Okay, yeah, but I don't think the Senate approved of that. I think they fought it.
I'm doing research. I'm doing research.
I may be wrong, but I'm just saying. The lady does speak. What? Once again, say that again. What do you mean if the government didn't do what? Okay. Well, you know what's going on. From what I've learned, ByteDance preemptively is doing this. That's why you can't access anything. They know the ban's coming. So they're prepping and doing away with the service now. Because as of midnight, tomorrow night, they cannot. It's illegal. So at that point, they'd be breaking the law. So they're preemptively shutting things down
Hey,
so as
my
not to break the law. And they're letting the rest of the law take its course, which is the smart thing to do. Because
I got
otherwise, there's fines, jail time, God knows what else. It
okay.
becomes worse. My wife just brought up a good point. She says, why are they doing it
Well,
if it's not legal? You know, the government
well,
didn't
I
shut
gotta
them down. They are shutting themselves down. Go ahead, Thumper.
I know, but here's my question for them.
Okay.
Yes, they have offices in the United States. They could lay those people off and make them collect unemployment, but they could still keep TikTok up because like technically they're in a different country, so they don't fall in our jurisdiction. So they
Well, the question becomes, where are the servers located? Are the servers in Taiwan or China, or are they in the U.S.? Someone watching could be a
well, then
benefit of information to tell us, but I don't know where they are.
it's no different. It doesn't matter where the servers are at. It's no different than the United States government communicating overseas and using overseas servers.
Right.
That
But
doesn't matter.
if you're going to communicate overseas, you have to. But
But my John, driving with John, made a valid or very good thing. He goes, there's people in Taiwan sitting there saying, oh, about the TikTok ban and stuff. Well, now I'm sitting here thinking, did they just shut TikTok down completely to everybody?
oh, you mean everybody all over
Think,
the world?
yeah, think about that for a second. Because my question is how do you state a certain area of not doing a certain thing on the internet? Because
That's
there's
done.
nothing that says you
That's
can't
done.
go.
That's done regionally by IP address. The same way we can't broadcast into China, they separate that by IP.
Okay, okay.
They do the
So
same
what
thing
if
to
a
us.
Canadian? Here's a question: what if a Canadian comes down to the United States, or a Mexican comes up to the United States?
Mhm.
They can't use their TikTok account, even though they're from that country.
Well, if you're from Mexico or Canada, you can do anything you would normally in your own country.
Okay,
The idea is we downloaded American proprietary software, so our IPs are associated with that software. and because of that, our accounts and services are no longer
But
usable. But the
you could go
Canadians
into
can.
your account. You could
Mhm.
go into your account, switch your location to Canada, and get service then.
It won't let you because you've already
It
signed up
might.
your account settings to an origin with an IP that
But
says
people,
otherwise.
but people move.
You could fake it for a little while with a
See,
VPN.
I'm
That's
yeah.
yeah.
See, I'm
You could
thinking
fake it with a
outside the
VPN.
box there.
Right,
But
right.
what the point I'm getting at is with everything that's going on, I'm just not because there is people on YouTube right now that are from different countries live with this whole ban stuff. I'm not wondering if they just didn't shut TikTok down completely.
Yeah.
Do you see where I'm getting at now?
Yep. Yep. I'm gonna see if I can hold a demonstration here because he's really pissed me off now. He's
Who?
getting on my nerves. John is okay. Let me show you the difference, my friend,
The House
between
voted 300, the House voted 352 to 65.
uh-huh. Okay, 302, right?
So there's 352 to the yes to the 65 no.
Uh-huh.
Which, okay, here's the thing. How many of these old farts in the House and the Senate and everything else actually use YouTube or TikTok?
I don't know how many do.
Probably very few. That's what I'm getting at.
Hmm.
But I guess the real question is what was thrown in this bill at the same time
Uh,
them to say yes? Because that's how
my
I
dear
see it.
friend, my dear friend, pay attention, if you will, to a very simple demonstration. When you have plus, you have a cross like this. When you want to tell someone 6 times 6, the cross then looks like this. Big difference. Hashtag, just saying. Anyway, just thought I'd have that little fun right there. Um,
A bullshit.
I'm sorry, I'm just one of those moods. Anyway,
No, you're good.
anyway. Yeah, because you read the comment on the bottom of the screen. You get 6 people, 36. Give me a break. That's not how I do my math, friend. Anyway. Yeah, he says they do that by using IP addresses.
I'm saying there's ways to cheat the system. You just gotta know how to do it.
Yeah, well, it's called a VPN. Everybody's figured that out. I mean, if you talk to some ordinary gamers, he does it all the time. I mean, because there's a ton of software things that are banned in certain countries. Well, how do you get around that? You get a VPN and you simply host your service from somewhere else that allows it. People do it all the time. You know, can we get away with it? Maybe. I don't know how many people on TikTok right now probably figured that out. I don't know. But right now, us regular Joes that don't know anything about VPNs, we're screwed. Words matter. You said 6 friends. And you
Sorry,
said you
I'm
knew how to
doing
count, add, multiply, subtract, divide. But you know what? Obviously, you failed at that too. Anyway, I'm not going to let that go. I'm going to be a pain in the butt. Okay. Why is my crap ain't cooperating with me? What is going on
protect
here? There it
protect
is. All right.
foreign agency adversary controlled applications act. That's what TikTok ban falls under.
Read that one more time. Something, something, what? You lost me halfway through there.
It is called PAFACAA, which is protect Americans from foreign adversary Controlled Applications Act.
And you said it's how cold up there? Negative 15 degrees?
It's 75 degrees in my
You better
house.
warm
Nice
you
try.
better warm that body of yours up because I think your lips are suffering from
I'm
frostbite.
I'm reading it right here.
I know, I'm picking on you.
I'm actually reading the bill right now, and I'm trying to figure
Okay,
out.
honestly, of those watching, who thinks China could infiltrate the US through TikTok? Honestly, what freaking difference does it make? I don't seriously believe any of that. Okay, I really don't. Everybody likes TikTok because they like 60-second short videos about people dancing, laughing, cat videos, God knows what else. And some of us actually make money. I haven't got to that point yet, so I really can't speak on that behalf. But I mean, give me a freaking break. I
It's
mean,
not
is Xi
just
Jinping
TikTok.
really going to look into my living room and see what I'm doing? No. Who thinks that? Tell me in the comments.
Hey,
Oh, I've got a strange one here. This business, Abel Malcolm, welcome to the show. Thank you for joining us. This business of banning and censoring is so damn unconstitutional, so immoral, so anti-American and ignorant. It all started with the Obama Biden crime family pushing that Russiagate hoax to censor the truth. Yeah, and I don't think the solution to any of this
hold on.
is banning
Hold
anything.
on.
It ain't fixing
Hold
nothing.
on. I'm reading this bill, all right.
Right? Okay. You froze up.
This isn't just ByteDance Ltd. This isn't
Right.
just TikTok. This
Oh, there's more than one company?
any any company controlled by a foreign adversary.
Yeah. Right.
So it's any application or anything that is not ran in the United States. So, well, like I just said
Okay.
earlier in the live, th-
It'll be interesting
th-
to see then, by your term you just read, how many companies we wake up in the morning and see no longer have operations.
half the video games we play on our phones will not be there.
Most likely. I'm wondering how many apps we guaranteed use every day without thought of who runs them. How many of them are going to go? How many banking apps are we going to lose? That's my question.
All of them, all of them.
No, no. Most of them are American made. Wells Fargo, I know, is American. Bank of America is the only one I question. I don't, even if they even still exist. I thought they were bought out by Chase Morgan, but he goes on to say the Russiagate hoax is now now I'm having your problem. Metamorph whatever
Yeah,
into a
okay.
China hate day.
I have a fifth grade reading level, so I have a reason.
Are you calling me a fifth grader? Okay. All
No,
right.
I'm calling myself one.
Yeah, you're rubbing off on me. Careful. So Russiagate is now the new China Gate. That's an interesting dichotomy. I think that's very interesting. Well, I
Yeah,
mean, when you think
this
about it, how
Watergate.
many, here's a brain, I mean, real brain, how many brokerage houses are we going to lose? Interesting trucking question. Great thing to bring up. How many trucking brokerages are we going to not have to deal with now? Think about that. All these irritating Russian brokers you deal with, are they gone? Somebody's dreaming. Look
Yeah,
at
he
that.
is.
He don't care. He's like, TikTok, bite me. Um, think about it though. How many of these foreign brokers are they all of a sudden not going to show up to work tomorrow? Even more important question: how many of you have been running brokers loads that are based out of the country and you haven't delivered them yet? Are you worried you're not going to get paid? Could happen. Just saying. Hashtag just saying. You never know. According to what Dumper just read, it could happen.
Mm, Yep.
I
Any
mean,
foreign adversary.
uh, you're rubbing off on me. Stop it. Anyway, no, I mean, think about the greater implications, though. Seriously, how long have we been sitting here saying that foreigners have been taking over trucking?
Hey,
It's been a
wait a
while.
minute.
What?
No, I'm not going down that road right now.
Were you going to go the direction I thought you were going to go?
Well, I mean that Bill and what you just said, put the two and two together.
Sorry, folks. I need my Reese's peanut butter cup. I mean, think
Ooh, that
about it,
sounds really
though. I
good.
mean, how many foreign brokers do we deal with on a daily basis? I mean, to me, it's not a big deal to start dealing with fully American people, whatever. If they shut down, I'm not losing anything. But think about how many drivers right now are carrying loads across the country that come tomorrow, according to that law, we don't know. Are you going to get paid, dude?
I
Are
think
you going to get a check?
TikTok's just the start of it. Unless
Could be.
Trump does something unless Trump
I'm
does
going to wake
something
up
about it,
tomorrow.
I
I'm going to
think
have a million emails. You're starting a conspiracy theory. No, the man just read what that act is. If it's
here,
read and
I could
understood
hold on.
literally
I could do
the
this
way he just did
because
that.
I am a moderator.
Mhm.
And this is Congress. This is from the Congress website. So, and I could do this since I'm a moderator.
Right? What are you going to do? Put it up in my comments?
I am gonna
God
put the
bless you.
link in the comments.
Okay. Please do.
Paste, send. There you go. Link in the comments.
There you go.
I don't. I don't know
As
how to
you
pin
see,
it
Humper
though.
and Bow, link right here. Go ahead and click on it. Have a blast. If that law is exactly as he just read it to me, trucking could change. Our world can change. I mean, it already
Tick,
has.
tick,
We have a
TikTok
million and
is
one
just the start
TikTokers on
of it.
YouTube. They're doing this. You know, so will the same thing happen with the trucking industry? How many other industries could it happen to? I mean, think about it.
I mean, and you know the type of person I am, boss man. I actually like read into it.
Mhm. Yep.
Maybe instead of a truck driver, I should become a politician. Because I know how to lie out. I know how to lie out my ass and interpret everything the wrong way.
Well, careful because not every politician does that now. I mean,
No.
we just elected one into office that we hope didn't anyway. It'd be nice to think he's fighting for somebody other
He
than
he runs the country the way it was not meant to be designed, which is a business.
yeah, a businessman.
Does that
He
make
doesn't.
sense? Did you make
Yeah,
sense how I said
yeah,
that?
yeah.
Because
He runs.
if we're gonna go
Well,
back,
well, I mean, compared to the way the previous administration, and I'm not mentioning names because I don't like any damn one of them. He's a businessman. I mean, everybody before now have been institutionalized, or if that's even the right word.
all right, pop
They're
quiz.
what?
What when the founding fathers founded the country? I'm making you think way back. I'm making you think history now.
You're gonna make
What
you're
was
gonna
their
embarrass me. I'm gonna kick your ass. But go
what was
ahead.
their intention? What was their intention for the Congress and everything? What was it not supposed to be?
Back then, they designed it so that it would not become a tyrannic republic. That was the general principle.
No,
They
it
set it
was
up
designed
originally.
to not be a full-time job. They want it
Well,
ran by the people.
right. So they set it up so that it would not become a tyrannic republic, and by that, they required a two-thirds majority in three different branches. So by the virtue of the way they did it, it required the people's consent. You got to remember, it was 13 colonies back then. It wasn't 50 states. You know,
Doesn't matter.
but
It
by
doesn't matter. They're 13, 4, 5, 7 million. It doesn't matter. It was
they
the
based everything
Constitution and everything.
they based everything on odds, basically, because they knew that the way they were setting it up, it would be it would be like you and I winning the lottery twice in one day, kind of thing. Those kind of odds. You know, back then, the 13 colonies, two-thirds majority, three different branches of government, and one taking over would be virtually impossible. So the theory you just mentioned about it being run by the people was really the only way it could be done. So that's pretty
Well,
much the byproduct
when
of
you got half the people that are in there right now that can't remember their name,
it. Yeah, tell
they
me
need
about it.
they need to go. They need to go.
Right. And virtually
I
every
mean,
single one of them that can't remember their name takes bribes,
and whose fault
super
is that?
PACs and everything.
I'm
No,
sorry, but who
yeah,
is that for those people being in there? The only people we have to blame on that is you and me,
yep,
us Americans, because we don't pay attention in that stuff.
nope,
And then I'm gonna bring up the whole argument. We actually did this on one of your frontline shows.
uh-oh.
I will
I
admit
hate it when you do this.
I didn't I did not vote this year.
Yeah.
But you want to know why? Because on voting day I was all the way out in Montana, and
Well, it's no great
that's not
surprise.
fair to me.
Yeah.
That's
I
no
think
fair to me. Oh,
I,
mail-in ballots. I'm sorry, but I don't trust a mail-in ballot. I just don't.
I don't think the average person does either. So you're nobody strange to that. So I mean, we do what we can. I mean, if we're given a system we can work within, that's great. But you just didn't have the ability to do that. Nobody's holding that against you. I mean, it's what it is. But I mean, back to what we were talking about a minute ago. I mean, 90% of the people that hold office now, they don't make the rules. They don't make their own decisions. They pander. You know, 90% of every one of them pander, and they take
Mhm.
orders from big corporations, big lobbyists, and big people with more influence over anything than the average person does walking into their office.
Yep.
You know,
Sorry, I'm stepping off camera for a second.
well, you've already stepped off camera, so what else is new?
I'm
You know, I mean, this whole business with TikTok really is no great surprise to me. Because once again, it's a bunch of people paid a lot of money we'll never see, we'll never touch. They're making decisions based on information that really isn't wholeheartedly accurate. You know, there's millions of people all over this planet right now that can't, well, not all over the planet, but all over US anyway, that can't use four different platforms that I know of. Can't use TikTok,
170 million.
170 million. Thank you for that update. Can't use TikTok, can't use Clapper, can't use Lemonade, which is another offshoot that was supposed to be a substitute if TikTok went down. How'd that work out for you? Can't use CapCut.
Can't
CapCut
use
is another,
Clapper.
yeah. Well, I mentioned that already. CapCut is a virtually very useful. I've used it myself. Have it recently tried, but you can't use that either because
Can
it's
you use
owned by the same
DaVinci?
company. What is it?
Can you use your DaVinci? Since
Yeah,
if you can't use
DaVinci. Well,
CapCut to do,
DaVinci's not owned by a foreign company, so and that's a program I download into my computer. It's not one that's server based, so I don't have that to worry about. So let me see, J&J Truck. Sorry, but I have to go. Good luck. Have a better night day. Yes, be sure
hey,
if
you
you're still
too.
watching, Jay, join us tonight at 7 o'clock. We're gonna have a frontline show, not related to TikTok, but it'll certainly be an interesting one.
7
But anyway,
p.m.
7 p.m. Eastern. Hope to see you there. Um, This was just last minute. I said, why not? Everybody else is talking about it. Let's see what we can gather. Let's see what others think of there not being a TikTok. I mean, if you're in the comments, let us know. Does it bother you? Does it piss you off? Are you making money? Are you losing money? Let us know what you think. We'd
It
certainly like to
really
know.
it really bothers me because my channel, a lot of it was motivational for truckers' mental health, and I've actually met a lot
Yeah,
of awesome people on TikTok. Like the last
I
4
agree.
days, I was live for 4+ hours, and I met
Yeah,
people that were in my area that I didn't even know that were there.
I was kind of mad because every time you went live, I was asleep. I wanted to join in, but I wasn't running the right kind of schedule.
Well,
So,
if TikTok comes back, look me up. That MN Trucking Guy 91. We have some
yeah.
pretty good lives, and I will be
James Rogers
continuing them.
James Rogers types in, "Bro, no one cares about TikTok. Just look at your." Not that that's an indicator, okay? I'm a trucking channel. I never talk about TikTok, bruh. My 6 viewers aren't expecting me to talk about TikTok. This was just an impromptu thing. Um, if you want what I normally do, tune in 7 o'clock tonight, Sunday that is, and you'll get the normal show. I didn't even plan this. This is just But to your point, yeah, 6 people probably got to see my TikTok related thumbnail, and probably you're right, they don't care. But somewhere on another platform, there's 170 million people crying about the fact that they're not getting paid. You know, think about it. If you worked all month for a paycheck and now all of a sudden you didn't get it, you'd be pissed. And that's what these people that are monetized on TikTok right now are having to deal with. And you know what? As a YouTuber, that kind of worries me because I could virtually run into that same problem with YouTube. Because as I said at the start of his live stream, the thing that worries me is that you set a precedent with one platform. That precedent can work and carry over to every other platform. The moment you put it in a plain way that someone that works for a full month, a year, whatever, they put their heart and their soul and their energy into creating content, and all of a sudden, stroke of a pen and just the right of a law, and all of a sudden, you ain't getting nothing. You ain't nothing. They can do that. And if this crap with TikTok don't prove it, watch what happens the first time you don't get paid by YouTube. Watch what happens. You won't be putting that comment in there. No one cares. No, you'll be one that cares. And that's my thing. And my reason for coming up here tonight is it's not just about TikTok. It's not just about what happened to those 170 million people. What could happen to you and me in the future? You know, I'm a trucking channel. I don't care about social media because I drive that truck. But at the end of the day, I like spreading a message, just like Thumper said a minute ago. He wants to put out motivational messages. He wants to reach more people, affect positively lives of other people. Well, it's kind of hard to do when from moment to moment, you don't know what platform to go on and who's going to be watching. I have 6 or 7 people watching now, but on tomorrow's live show, I may have 100. On a live show come a month from now, I may have thousands more. How am I going to feel like I've got a right to say anything or guarantee that if that's under threat every time I turn around? You know, you never know when this is going to happen. So, you know, Thumper's going to be back with us in just a minute. His phone died. Um, but that's my thing. This sets a precedent that could negatively affect everyone, everywhere. Because I read it yesterday. The only thing that was to be affected was TikTok. Now, come to find out, it's Lemony, it's Clapper, it's CapCut, and well, I don't know, but I'm going to wake up in the morning. We may find a half a dozen companies out of the blue suddenly affected by this foreign entities law that Thumper just recognized. I mean, if you think you're in the danger zone, as it were, like Top Gun, Let me know in the comments. I mean, it could very easily happen. Any company that's got foreign ownership of any kind, come to work and find out you don't have a job. You could come to a meeting sometime tomorrow, and government says we can't pay you. Sayonara. I not to pick on that language, but I ain't sticking around. Sorry, that's not for me. I work for people to pay me. I work with platforms that can pay me and that can back me up and support me. I mean, hey, I'm probably making a bunch of crap out of nothing. TikTok, this whole issue will probably be resolved in 2, 3 days. But what's to stop that very same thing happening to YouTube, Facebook, Twitter? Oh, Twitter will never go anywhere. Elon runs it. No. Okay. Doesn't mean a thing. If Elon gets fired, Twitter goes with it. You never know. No one will ever fire that man. He runs a starship. Okay, Captain Kirk. I mean, everybody
Picard.
thinks everything is cemented in. Huh?
It's Captain Picard.
Kirk Picard. Whatever. Tomato, tomato. Pick on me, boy. No, everybody thinks everything's cemented in. Everybody thinks everything's golden. It's not. I mean, you wake up tomorrow and find a nuke going off in the corner of the country. You can't control that. You don't know anything about it. I mean, I hope it never happens, but you don't know. 6 hours ago, I didn't know TikTok wouldn't be available. Here we are now. It's gone. Weird, but it happened. I mean, nothing is guaranteed. Nothing is. Except Bo trying to interfere when there he is. Okay, now you can talk.
That ain't Bo.
You put your mic up. I couldn't hear you. You were trying to say something.
That's not Bo. That's Dakota.
Oh, nice. Okay. Didn't know you had a second dog in there.
I got 3 of them.
Mm.
Yeah, this is Dakota. Dakota Bear.
Some host you are. You don't even know the dogs.
Sure. Like that. Oh, look at that. He's like, Papa, pet me.
Yeah, she's my hunting dog.
Precious little animal.
Okay,
Precious little guy.
better plug my phone back in before it dies.
Yeah, please do.
Again.
Yeah. So if you're into watching, put in the comments what do you think about this whole TikTok BS. Bothered by it? If you're not, let us know.
It like I said, I've said it a couple times.
Yeah.
It bothers me a little bit because the last week I've actually put more effort into it, and I was actually starting to get some pretty good followers, and like I said, meeting some really good people. And
Yeah, it kind of sucks because now your momentum is going to go back down the toilet.
well, I went and to some of the people who watch 3,000 followers may not sound like a lot, but to me it is.
It is. It's your world.
Because the sad
You worked hard
part
to
is,
build that world.
yes, but the sad part is those 3,000 followers, I got to know those people because they would come into my lives. Like
Yeah.
I knew them, like I thought I would never ever think of this, but I knew 3,000 people on a first name basis.
Yeah.
Not just a
Well,
screen name like Boss Man or like a screen name like Thumper here and stuff like that. It sucks, but you know what?
okay. I'm not human. I hear what you're saying, but if you've watched any percentage of my show, in case you haven't, let me repeat what I said a minute ago. This isn't just about TikTok. This is about every platform in existence. If this can be done with TikTok, you say it's toxic and I agree with you. A lot of bad has happened, but here's the thing. If this can happen with one platform, think about every other platform in existence being under threat. This very same thing. Can it happen to YouTube? Can it happen to Meta? Can it happen to X? Can it happen to Truth Social? Instagram, think of all of the platforms out there, not just because they're owned by foreigners, but for whatever arbitrary reason, a government agency says that platform is toxic, just like you said in the comments. Can they ban it? Can they rule it out? Can they disallow it? Whatever the term is, it goes beyond TikTok. You set a precedent with one platform, and it carries off into every other. Um, he
Well, look
said
at
it was on
that.
to
Look
say
at that
social
thing I
media is a
just.
threat to our children. But is it really? Is it really? Social media, when used incorrectly, can be a danger, yes, if it's used for bad things. But 10 years ago, were we having this discussion? No. 10 years ago, we were learning the nuances of how to run it,
Wait,
and we were
I got a,
getting
I
used
got
to
a, I got a question for that. I'm not human.
it. Mhm.
If social media is toxic and a threat to our children, why are you on YouTube then?
Good
That's a
question.
social media. That is a social media based platform.
And a follow up to this before you complete your answer and hit send. Why trust YouTube over others? That would be an interesting answer to hear. Because you know what? YouTube is good because I'm working to monetize on this platform and I believe in it. But it's not the holy grail of social media. There are other platforms. So think about that as you're typing your answer. I mean, yeah, I agree with you. There is something wrong when children of the day, looking at my own, spend more time on their social media apps than they do household chores or schoolwork or glean from social media the wrong things to do. I agree with all of that. But when used correctly, it enhances lives. It allows people like you and me to connect, share ideas, share beliefs, share experiences that
Actually,
help others, build others, and benefit others. Go ahead, though.
in my household, I got a 3-year-old and a 1-year-old daughter. I'm using a pop bottle as a pointer stick.
Yeah, I'm gonna pop
But
you
anyway,
for doing that. Anyway,
right. Anyways, I have a 4-year-old. She just turned 4 on Thursday, and we had a
yeah,
birthday party today. But
yeah,
anyways, we use social media as a learning platform. She watches Paw Patrol, Bluey.
yeah,
For a while she was on a Blippy
yeah, yeah.
raid. The learning stuff. That's what we use it.
Social media is almost a necessary evil in my household. One reason, blow y'all's mind away. Both my children, I've got two, sitting in this house right now, are homeschooled. Were it not for social media and the very necessary connections my children have to make to complete lessons, online courses, get things done, they wouldn't be able to do the homeschool that they do. It's part of their curriculum and part of their learning. They have to do it. Social media isn't all that bad. Yeah, it has its bad spots and it has places to avoid because believe you me, I do not let my 10 and 11-year-old children roam free on the internet. They don't do that. Where they're strictly monitored. But to say it's strictly toxic and a threat,
Come here.
that's the reason I would only agree to that statement is if I said because the parents allow it. If it's that much of a threat to our children, it's because the parents are not properly trained or aware of what their kids are doing. That's the reason that exists. Full stop. That's the only reason I said it.
Yeah, I
So
gotta, I kind of gotta laugh at this when I pointed out that, you know, I'm not that human about the whole social media thing. I just happened to look down at the watching, and right after we started asking them those questions, it dropped down.
Well, again, I'm a trucking channel, so people are tuning in expecting there to be
Yeah.
trucking topics, and we're talking about the nuances of social media. They're just like, I don't want to. Whatever.
Well, I
Welcome
mean,
to the truck, probably.
social media is kind of a big thing in the truck driving. When I use TikTok and stuff like that,
I get
it was a big
100% of
part.
benefit. Yeah, I get
It
100%
it
of
was a
benefit. Yeah,
yeah, I mean, it was a huge benefit for to me because, people don't use CBs anymore. So
no, I don't.
your trucking stories are now told on the social media during a live and stuff
Yeah,
like that.
just like this. Yeah,
We would keep each other awake during our live
yeah,
run nights.
exactly.
So,
It
you
is the
know,
new CB radio in every
it
way,
is.
shape, and form. It is the way for people to communicate nowadays. Whether you talk about TikTok, whether you talk about Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, all of them. I started this back, this whole channel dream I have back in 2020 during COVID. You know, and a lot of people think, well, everybody had to. No, everybody didn't have to. I just did it because I felt like I had a message to deliver. And the only way to deliver that message was to actually pick up my camera, record a video, and make a statement. And the only way I could do that was to have a YouTube channel. That's all I knew back then. But were it not for social media, I'll get to you in a second. Were it not for social media, I wouldn't be able to spread that message. I've tried Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, all of them. I'm having the best luck here on this platform. But I don't down social media. I don't see it as a threat to our kids. I don't see it as a problem. My wife was just gonna point something out. What?
Nobody in their mind has thought of.
What's that?
Well, you know how, like, when certain companies feel threatened?
Right.
Well, what if TikTok was made to feel threatened?
It's interesting you mentioned that because somebody just put a comment on. Let me read the comment. TikTok couldn't be controlled. A foreign company owned its rights, and thus the US government couldn't control the narrative, so they decided to usurp the First Amendment. This is coming by a user named Research. Thank you for joining our show tonight. So you said that in a similar sense, I don't think they heard you because you're too far away from their microphone. Repeat it one more time because I think it ties into what he just
What's
said.
to say TikTok wasn't made to be shut down? YouTube was here first, not TikTok.
Okay, so what she said was, what's to say TikTok wasn't designed to be shut down, as if to say other platforms have their place, as in this was meant to happen. So I see the sense she's making. So let's explore that. What if that is exactly what's going on? It's an American company saying, you know what? You've had your fun. Now it's my turn.
Well,
What if?
in a sense, the way she is right because you sit and look at it. When TikTok came out, what was it, 2014 or something like that?
Somewhere around there, I think. So don't
If in the audience, if you know, chime in.
please tell us. Yeah.
But anyways, it is a short form video application.
Yeah.
YouTube didn't have that
Well, they
at
started
that
out. They didn't.
at
No.
at
Uh,
no, they never
when
had that
when
at
TikTok
that time.
started, they did. Yeah, they did.
Yeah. So they
Yeah.
saw that TikTok became this huge hit.
Yep.
I would actually kind of would have to agree with Lori on that one. It could be the 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 American companies trying to push out the foreigners, which if that's the case, come out and say it.
Well, more
Don't
to her
hide them.
point. Yeah, more to her point. Maybe it's the American companies feeling threatened. Because think about it. Every time a monopoly feels threatened, what do? They lash out against the competition. So there you have it. That's a possible remedy. Say what now?
It goes back to what you told me earlier about what you said about when you were driving for
Okay.
You said your cab company and the
Oh yeah, all about competition. Yeah,
competition,
yeah,
they
yeah.
knew their place. They didn't dare step on
Okay.
the
Here's a small history lesson about me. You know, not to bore you, but I previously had a job in another transportation sector, taxi cabs. I was a manager and I worked hand in hand with other taxi companies. Okay. And what she was reminding me of is a conversation I had with her earlier today where we talked about this very concept. And what it was I ran the largest taxi company in Wilmington, North Carolina at the time was Yellow Cab. And we had a sister company that was basically equal size, equal competition, and they were equal in numbers of taxis, but had a different kind of customer base. And we worked between the managers of their company and ours, me and them. We worked hand in hand to make sure we weren't stepping on each other's toes. We had a huge agreement go on between our company and theirs. And we worked things out a specific way to make sure I wasn't stealing their business, they weren't stealing mine. Everybody was happy. What do you want to add?
Oh, I was saying hi. A newcomer in the chat,
Oh
Gamer
yeah.
4K.
Oh, okay. I wasn't looking at that, but yeah. Yes, welcome to you. Thank you for joining us. If you got any thoughts on this whole TikTok mess and or how social media is affected, by all means, put it in the comments. But as I was saying, you know, two major taxi companies in one city were able to come to an understanding as to exactly how to manage a market share of over, I think it was 250,000 people in a what they called a TAM, a total addressable market. Social media is no different. You figure out who you can talk to, what message you can send, and how many people are willing to listen to it. So TikTok's got the same thing. You have a total addressable market of X, and you got to figure out, you know, am I stepping on this toe or that toe, or am I doing this right or doing that wrong? So TikTok has been banned because of a preemptive law that said as of January 19th, no business in the US can operate if it's influenced in any way by a foreign entity. TikTok is run by ByteDance,
The
which is now foreign owned and run by a
owned.
Chinese company. So, uh,
There is a link in the chat that
yeah, we have a link up
covers
there
that bill.
where, yeah, look for the link for Thumper and Bo. In fact, I'll display it here. Look for it in the chat. If you look that up, it talks about the foreign entities being affected, the law that basically created and founded all this stuff. And it not only affects TikTok, but it also affects other foreign based companies, i.e., Clapper, Lemonade, CapCut. If you use CapCut to create videos, can't use that right now. It's foreign based and foreign owned. So there's a number of completely innocuous applications that cannot be used as of right now because of this law. And it was set to go in effect 19th, but as of right now, TikTok is not accessible. So
Well,
no one in the
Clapper's
US
not
can access it.
accessible. The
What's that?
Cap. There's a lot of apps out
Yeah,
there that are
yeah.
not accessible right
Lemonade.
now.
Yeah, yeah. There's a number of them that are down right now. In fact, there's been a huge increase on YouTube of people running vertical lives talking about the fact that I usually do it on TikTok. I have to do it here. I'm not getting paid by YouTube. Whatever. There's a lot of them whining because they can't do their normal thing. Um, so yeah, I I had one earlier mention. Why you only got 6 people? The reason is because there's 15 million more doing the same damn thing I'm doing. Oh, it came off again. Okay, all right. So yeah, there's 16. There probably 60 million people doing the same crap on YouTube, and we're getting the same overflow. I mean, there's probably twice the lives on YouTube that we normally have, probably because of this problem. So, don't know how many
We're
of them are
doing
truckers, but you're welcome to join us. We'll be here for a little while anyway. Says, how is everybody doing today? Well, I'm great, other than TikTok being banned and us American people being told we can't use our own apps. I'm fine. If I were any better, I'd be twins.
communists.
What are you pulling your dog's tail for?
Oh, I do it all the time.
Kind of make him mad.
Her mad?
Uh-oh. Hold on, man. We had a thought.
TikTok.
Right,
TikTok resort to time.
right. I'm still waiting for a
Their
point.
clock was ticking. Tick-tock, tick-tock.
I'm still trying to follow where does that point lead. I'm don't know where you're going with that.
TikTok, it was a matter of time before it got shut down.
Thank you.
Why is it the host of the show didn't see that coming?
Because it went.
Okay, I'm not Peanut. I'm Boss Man. Come on now, get it right. Cute, dude.
The
Cute, dude.
foreign influencer
Off
is
camera
the key
influence.
factor here. It's an excuse for free speech in the United States.
Excuse me. Yeah?
What takes our
What's your take on people saying the atrocities in Gaza spawned this? You know, normally I'm a trucking channel and I don't resort to political commentary. But what my take on people saying atrocities in Gaza spawned by this move? Atrocities happen. That much I will say. Now, what it was spawned from, I don't know enough about it to really offer an educated opinion. All I can say is that everyone involved in atrocities, whether it's in Ukraine or in Gaza or Israel or even here in the States, it just needs to stop. I mean, there's too much, biblically speaking, that can point in the wrong directions over this. And really, people need to stop and think. That's about the only thing I can really offer you on. But I
Now,
appreciate the question from the nice gentleman named Research. What's your thing, Thumper? Go ahead.
Here's something that I should say before we lose some viewers.
Well,
because we've been
actually,
having
he
people
just followed
pop
up with
in
a
and
good
out.
point. He just followed up with a good point. TikTok broadcasted things other media couldn't. So I think to the point
Well-
that he was making with his earlier question, that may be part of the reason for what's going on.
Well, here's
And you just froze up. Give Thumper a minute for his signal to come back. I think it partly could be that you're right. It could be that I can't say the American government. It could be the governments of many, maybe. A lot of people put this whole thing on the Illuminati, all that. I don't really put a lot of weight on that, but many people have a problem with free speech, whereas others don't. So when you think about the influence that those in the media have, separate from those outside of the media, big difference. So when you talk about one outfit that says this about, to use your point, the atrocities in Gaza, and the other outfit disagrees with that, they'll go full bore, try to shut them down. So free speech has been under threat for a while. I do not deny that. And to the degree we can, we need to defend that. Because I do not agree with somebody dismissing truth as fiction when it's actually true and provable and documented. But at the same time, I don't also agree with somebody telling me what to say because it's not politically correct. I don't play that. So to your point, yes, there could be some of that at play. And at the end of the day, I've always been of the opinion truth will set you free. Truth will win at the end of the day. That's really the only outcome one can expect. TikTok may do more in the respect that you talk about in your comments. And that could be the reason. Who am I to know? I really don't surf TikTok enough to know whether that's the case. But I do know they police their stuff less than YouTube does. I mean, if you were to try to broadcast that stuff on YouTube, they'd shut you down in 2 seconds. So, to a small degree, YouTube is almost as bad. But they clearly put it in their terms of service, what you can and can't do. So, there's no mistake in it. You're not going to find that as easily in TikTok's terms of service. You're hard pressed to figure that out until you put it up and they say, "Nope, we're not letting it. Shame on you." That's the way they operate. I've had it happen before. Yeah, Thumper, come back when you can, buddy. Um, so I mean, in terms of censorship, I think a small part of what's going on with TikTok right now is of censorship. I think the other thing is everybody's got this huge fear of national security. But my only argument I back it up with is okay, if you're going to start with TikTok, what stops you from doing it with YouTube, with Facebook, with virtually 15 other platforms that everybody across the country and the world rely on a daily basis? Because we don't just use this to spread fiction. We use this I'm speaking for myself, okay? I use this platform to inspire people, okay? The premise of my platform is to spread the word on ways in which to make trucking great again, okay? I'm built for truckers by truckers. I design news broadcasts and podcasts to help others become better, become smarter, more educated, and know something about a news show that while they're on the road, they're not able to see. I.e., you can watch CBC if you're in Canada. You can watch NBC, ABC, CNN, Fox if you're in the US. You can watch a lot of new network news. But if you waste an hour watching network news, you're not learning crap about trucking. You tune into my channel, you're going to learn what you need, what's latest, what's greatest, and ways in which to become better and grow. Now, what's better is I'm not the only trucking channel on the platform. There's hundreds of others. But what other trucking channel runs a show that allows you, the caller, or you, the viewer, to call into my show? Twice a week, I do that. I have a call-in show on generally in the weekends called Frontlines, and during the week I have one called Journal. No new show anywhere allows for someone like me to reach out to viewers watching in my show, and actually exercise their right to say what's on their mind. You can do that on my show. Nowhere else can you do that. No one else hosts a show like that. I'm the only one. So a platform like YouTube allows that. I can't even do that on TikTok because I can't even get the RTMP key to do that. Somebody wants to help me, they're welcome to it, but that's the thing.
Well, it don't matter right at this moment.
Well, I don't, but the point I'm making is a greater point to what they just said in the comments. It's about censorship. That's virtually what research was bringing up. You
Okay,
know,
before
yeah,
I switched my iPad so we won't have this issue again.
thank you. That was twice.
Yes, I don't know why my phone is not holding a charge. That's kind of
It's doing
weird.
what it's doing. Well, whatever.
Yeah,
Anyway,
well, it's time for a new one. But
right?
anyways, what I was getting at is, okay, this whole ban on
Don't buy
TikTok.
Chinese products. Anyway, go ahead.
Hey, now. I like my Apple products.
Yeah.
Anyways, it's a magic trick. The government does it all the time. We're focused on this band and stuff right now. The
Right.
inauguration's coming out. What's really going on over here?
Yeah.
You
It's
got
the
to sit and
old,
think about that.
look here, don't
So,
look at here. Yeah, I see what you're saying.
you know,
It
it's
could
just
be. Could be a fake out. Yeah. It could be a fake out. I mean, think about it. I mean, it's a perfect way to do it. You know, while we're focused on this, they're off doing something else we never see. And it could be.
there could be a bill going through right now, and we wouldn't know it because we're focused on this stuff right now.
Yeah. Well, most people are. There's some people not focused. Well, I mean, it depends on what your catch is. I mean, we're YouTubers. We're into trucking. We're not in the news. We're not in politics. We're not. There's a lot. There's a lot we're missing. But to your point, yeah, it could be a lot of look at here, but don't look here because there's nothing to see here. Come move along, kind of thing. Distract or sleight of hand. I think is the
Hmm.
perfect way to say it.
It's
Um,
exactly what it is. I mean,
yeah. I mean,
there,
to the
there's
point.
there's something going on. We just don't know what it is yet.
I mean, to the point that the guy, about atrocities of Gaza and all that. I'll never directly talk about it, but I mean, those platforms that mention that kind of stuff, maybe they're the ones that are under the gun. Maybe those ones that have such loose lip policies, maybe they're the ones that are being affected. Because think about it, when you sign up for your YouTube account, when you start YouTube, it's pretty much spelled out exactly what you can and cannot do. There's really no misunderstanding. But when I signed up for TikTok, I don't recall seeing that long list of do's and don'ts.
Oh, there is.
Well, yeah, but it wasn't as thorough you got to admit, YouTube is more thorough on their terms of service than TikTok was.
I've been on YouTube so long that
Yeah, I think they are. I hands down, I think they're more thorough. And TikTok is less enforcement. I honestly do. Because there's shit you can get away with on TikTok you would never
yeah,
dream of doing
right.
on YouTube.
Yeah, right.
I'm serious.
No, I'm serious too. TikTok was strict on a lot of stuff.
Well, yes, there are
I
strict,
showed
but there
I
is just
showed
as much equal stuff you can get away with that you can't on YouTube.
I
Music,
showed the
perfect example.
bumper. Yes, music, yes. Copyright stuff, yes, but I showed a bumper on a live one night because it was tweaked a little bit,
Right.
and because my truck was running and the lights were on, I got banned for 3 days
Because of what?
for showing the bumper on my truck because it was a dangerous act. That was
But
the
did,
excuse
what
they
did
gave
you
me.
what did you do around that bumper? Did you do something that was dangerous?
The truck was running and the
Right.
lights were on, and I threw an appeal at it and they denied it. It was because the truck and the lights were on. If you're sitting at a truck stop and they could see your steering wheel, they will ban you. If your camera is facing forward, they will
Right.
ban you. That's just the thing. They were strict on a lot of stuff, and the reason why they were strict like that is because there was actually people going on lives and um,
Well, there was a number of them that ruined certain things because of the stupid prank crap they were pulling. Because
well,
you
not
remember there
just
for a
that,
while there was this
the
huge
Tide
rush of
Pods.
prank channels.
Oh, I was gonna say the Tide Pods.
Yeah, well, there you go. Yeah, same thing. But yeah, the prank channels that were playing around with a
Well, I
bunch of
mean, there was
dangerous
pe there
acts. So
there
they
was
had to clamp
people.
down on stuff like
Well,
that.
and
Yeah.
yeah, and there was people actually committing.
YouTube, to a small degree, YouTube was even affected by that.
Hmm.
YouTube clamped down on certain policies prior or after that they prior did not. So yeah,
Yep.
even YouTube changed to that degree. You mentioned that.
Hmm.
But no, my point is there are certain things that are present in the YouTube terms of service that don't exist but are enforced in TikTok. So, it's day and night. You know, I can play music on this show right here. I don't dream of trying it. anywhere else. If I try it on TikTok, they might let me get away with it, but Facebook will not. They cut me
Oh,
off.
TikTok,
Oh,
TikTok,
yeah.
you can have the radio as loud as you want and play
If
whatever
it's music,
music you
it's part of
want.
the show, yes. But if you play it in the background, TikTok won't let you do it.
Yeah, they will.
On a live, they will not.
Yeah, they will.
Yeah, I've had them kick
My
me off.
my radio's been playing all the time
Yeah.
in the
The first
background.
live I did on TikTok, they kicked me off because of the music. Believe it or not.
Hmm.
That's what the
They
statement
they
or
just
the notification.
they just didn't like you.
Well, I was a new guy, so what kind of influence did I have, right?
I mean, for a while,
But
when you got a certain amount of followers, like when you're first starting out and stuff like that on TikTok, yeah, they were strict. They're a little bit more strict on the smaller guys. But when you got like tens and thousands of, you could get away with damn near
yeah, the more you have, the more you can
murder.
do. I think there's a little bit of what's the word? Leniency.
Leeway.
Yeah,
Yeah.
leeway. Yeah, there you go. I mean, it's great to know, but they they are more concerned, I think, with uniformity when it comes to censorship.
But it's not like the
So
government wasn't it's not like the government wasn't making money off TikTok because I would buy stuff off TikTok and I had to pay sales tax.
I was going to say cell tap revenue, yeah, but
Yeah.
that's not the only thing they're bothered by. I think
No, but I'm
I'm
just sitting there.
I'm still
I'm s-
bouncing
I'm
off
s-
research's comment. He's talked, and he makes a good point. I mean, censorship is an issue, but I don't think that's the reason why TikTok was shut down. I think it's they felt threatened, and by they I don't mean the government so much. Yeah, they're the ones that enacted the policies, and they're the ones that made the law change. I don't think they had anything. I think there was a lobbyist somewhere in the background because otherwise this would never even been talked about, honestly. Because
no.
name me one politician that's smart enough to know where the hell ByteDance is owned. I yeah. In our current administration, I don't pass that presence of mind in any one of them. So don't insult me. That boy couldn't even get it to tie his own shoelaces. You don't want to know what my wife said. Anyway, I mean, nobody in the government collectively has the brains necessary to figure out where the hell ByteDance owns what. You know, I mean that might change in a few days, but right now, no. Current administration, I don't give them that credit. Do you? Huh?
No.
My wife asks, "What if this is the beginning?" My question to you, dear, is of what? Beginning of what?
Turning into communist.
No,
No, she's not talking about that.
they're always talking about DMV. What happened? I've heard numerous videos and numerous people saying, what would happen if?
What would happen if you could name a thousand things?
But
Doomsday preppers will do that.
They were all talking about the internet. What would we all feel like if the internet were to go down?
Okay. If the internet goes down, what would happen? Short version of what you just said. So
Oh,
my
first
answer
there'd be
is,
millions of people losing their mind.
well, my answer to that is, can we really rely on TikTok going down to be a demonstration of that? TikTok is but one grain of sand in the entire internet. So I'm so far not getting the point you're trying to make, unless
TikTok is down.
right. Five entities. TikTok, Clapper, Lemonade, CapCut, and there's one other one John mentioned earlier, but I don't think he's still on the live. He can't confirm that, so I don't know.
Five.
Right.
Right.
5 affected by one, but continue. Right. Yeah. What's your point? Well, that's the point I made earlier. But Instagram, YouTube, all those other platforms, they're American owned companies. these that we're talking about are all owned by foreign entities. The point that I made at the start of the show, and I still stand on, is if a precedent is set, the word precedent meaning an example, a legal basis for what's going on now, we're set to actually credibly enforce this and do it with one company under this circumstance. What's to stop them from doing it across the board anytime they want? You know, so that's really the only thing I've got to go on what you just said a minute ago. It could happen virtually anywhere in the world, in the country, with any country's government or whatever. We really do have to be on our guard, because if TikTok can be threatened with a lawsuit and therefore shut down, which they did on their own, by the way, they weren't told they had to. They did before the deadline on their own. What's to stop every other company from having the same problem? So, to answer your question, I don't know. Yeah, and her question is this just the beginning? It could be. You know, it could be just somebody flexing their muscle to say, you know what? You're not the shit you thought you were. You got it coming, guy. You know, it could be just that simple. You never know. It really could. Someday we could wake up and the internet be done. That was the point my wife was making. You know,
We could wake up. We could wake up one day and all the oil in the world could be gone.
very true. Everything
We
we
could.
have could be gone in a
We could.
second.
w- We could wake up in the middle, or wake up one day and we'll have no electricity.
Yep. So we really need to think about it. I mean, TikTok is but an example. It'll be back up in a couple of days. Everybody will be back to normal, kicking up stinks, making their dance videos, prank videos, all that shit. But I mean, think about it. What happens if? Really should be asked. I think it's a valid point. And think about it. What's your backup plan? If you base 100%, I don't know anybody that does, God help you if you do. If you base 100% of your marketable campaign money income on TikTok, have you figured out what you're going to do? If you figured out 100% of your marketable money that you're making on YouTube, what are you going to do? Facebook, same thing. If you put all your eggs in one basket, do you know what you're going to do when it's no longer there? Credible thought. If you're watching this on the replay, I'd like to hear your thoughts in the comments below. If you're still watching us and you still have something to say to answer that question, I want to hear from you right now. Mike Pompeo, ex-CIA director, discussed this during the first Trump administration. The intelligence apparatus has been surveying TikTok since day one. Yes. But again, it goes to my broader question. What are you going to do if any of these platforms are circumvented and no longer allowed? Could easily happen. Hell, it could easily happen to any of the various apps you use. You know, how you look up phone numbers on the internet, the very phone you use, the mapping service you use, any of the many apps you use to get around in your car, in your truck, any of those various things. Any of those could arbitrarily just be suddenly ceased without warning. What are you going to do? How many of you old school drivers can actually do the job without technology? This same fellow research goes on to say, very similar to Russia today, the news network that was pulled from mainstream media is in the U.S. because it was Russian. Yes, quite a few actual platforms that are now no longer allowed to do business in the U.S. because of that very reason. But it's not just Russia. It's China and it's other entities that are foreign based. That's what that law Thumper referred to a short time ago is based on. If it's outside the U.S. in any way represents a threat to the U.S. government, they're done. And that could affect Thumper. I mean, shit ton of companies. Really could. Apps, companies, things we take for granted. Something to think about, guys. I'm going to end this live because I know you guys, like me, have sleep to get. But think about it. As you live your daily life, things like this whole TikTok conundrum could suddenly, in one moment, affect you and you be lost. You could be in the middle of nowhere.
Can't hear you.
You could be looking for anything to find your way home, to get along, to get a beer, to get a soda, to find hotel lodging. And without warning, that app you're looking to use that stuff for is suddenly gone. What are you going to do? Are you old school enough to figure it out? I hope most of us are. Because I'll be honest with you. If it come down to it, and I had to navigate a map, I could find my way home. What about you, Thumper?
Oh yeah, I can find my way. I guess half the time, but eventually all roads lead to where I need to go.
Yep. There you go.
You know, yes, it is. I mean, is the TikTok ban affect me? Yeah, I met some really good people, but you know what? It really doesn't affect me. It was a toy for me.
Yep.
You know,
It'll be
just
back
like
in the good old days. Everybody will be back to normal.
Yeah.
But
I mean, yeah, it's kind of also like, you know, you and I have been talking about the last few lives. Well, I'll need to get back to working together.
it does.
Start living life the way it was meant to. Get our
Exactly.
faces unburied from these phones and go back to the old way.
Yep.
So,
We do indeed.
but yeah,
We do indeed.
God bless everybody in the United States, EMTs, firefighters, military personnel, and we'll get through it. It's just another day. Give it a few days, stuff will change. So we don't do it just for us and our families. We do it for you guys.
As always, we do. Every day is a challenge. Every day is a blessing. Guys, look for us tonight at 7 o'clock for our normal show for Frontline. We get out here giving you the news information that you need to make trucking great again. Every day is a challenge. Especially when it doesn't work right. 7 o'clock tonight, we'll be live. Look for us then. Remember, it's the trucks that make the deliveries, but it's you that make the difference. Till then, be right with God, be right with yourself. Keep it real. And by all means, keep it rolling.